Hello everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm your host Shadorian, and with me as always is Grim and Ark.
Howdy doody dandy.
What about now?
What? Okay, so we haven't recorded this in a few weeks, but you guys won't understand that or notice that because I space out episodes in a really dumb and annoying way. But
Bam!
yeah, we haven't played this for like 2.5 weeks, maybe longer, maybe 3.
And because of that, you should like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Alright, so this grind, this post-ARR grind, is literally killing me, so I'm going to start clicking past dialogue a lot faster. If you really, really want to read it, you can pause it, man. Like, I'm not going to click past it in a pace where you can't just pause it and read it, but I'm not going to sit there and wait for them to finish their rants, because, dude...
Both our grind is killing him, bruh.
I'll put it this way, right? So we've got, what is it, Grim, like 10 quests until Shiva? Something like that?
5 quests till Shiva. Oh, no, till Shiva, yeah, 10 quests.
Yeah, so in
Wasn't it 5 till snow? Wasn't it 5 till Snowcloak, 12
Yeah.
till Shiva?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Last episode, that was like 5 quests that I got completed, and I was doing them constantly. And we got like 12 till Shiva. And you know how many quests there are after Shiva until the end of ARR's post-game? There's like over 30. And I don't want to record 15 more episodes of post-game before I get to start any of the DLC. To justify some of my... checking timer. Complaining. Yeah, even Square Enix are like, okay, we're gonna cut down post-ARR's quest
Content.
padding because a lot of people just like stop playing after this. They get burnt out. They don't want to play it anymore. Like they should have just made a lot of it optional. Like, that wouldn't have
Yeah,
been a
there's
problem.
a lot of quests, like, go fetch tea leaves that really have no impact on the main story apart from, oh, wow, you've calmed this person down. Like, that could have been done with punching him in the face.
Him just fight him, just full battle. Everyone's like, "What are you doing?" Duty commands. Pull out your weapon.
But, yeah. That they're meant to bring that fix in after they've released the last Shadowbringers patch. Is that right?
Or when they're gonna splice it in, because they'll always gradually like drip in more content. That was sort of how they got themselves in this issue in the first place. Was when obviously AR came out. It was just vanilla. And obviously there was like, oh, we don't know if we're doing a DLC. Then they were doing a DLC and stuff. So they're like, here, have some more content. Here, have some more content.
Man, they
Here, have
lied
some
to
more
themselves.
Which
Don't know
was,
if we're
like,
doing a DLC. Of course you were.
Like, which is good that, they're like, here's some more content waiting. But when you're like us picking up from not vanilla, you're like, oh, well, look at all this content we have to catch up on.
I am so fucking happy that the time has passed the mark that I can swear. Okay, so now I can also say, man, fuck post vanilla game. Like, oh. I really would love to just quit it. Like, for example, Grim is almost up to the city that we want to go to, which is after the city that I'm not even up to yet. Like, I want to get to Ishgard. He's forgotten about Ishgard. Like, that's a hilarious memory from his youth.
Ishgard, you were wonderful once upon a time, and now you're just, well, shit in comparison.
You've become shit tier just like everything else.
I think the worst thing as well is just this grind makes me not want to play, so I'm not logging on daily anymore, and I feel like, in a way, that negatively impacts the FC.
So do you know what you should do? If you're watching this and you're playing Final Fantasy, like, comment, subscribe, join our FC, and make Shade want to play again.
No, it's mainly the brick wall of main scenario quests. And also, now that we're playing Fallout 76, we just recorded the second.
Would we really call it playing Fallout 76?
Yes. What else would you call it?
Is it Bethesda playing us?
Oh, it's always that. That's why we play on Steam instead of the crappy Bethesda launcher. Man, that
is-
makes me feel happy as well to have it on Steam and have Gaben's hand on my leg, like a little bit high, but not all the way up, and be like, "It's okay, you can get refunds."
high enough to know it's naughty,
You can get
but
refunds.
low enough that you get a yeah.
Low enough that you get a refund. Hey man, if I was gonna let any creepy lecherous dudes put their hand high up on my leg, it probably wouldn't be Gaben actually, but you know, he'd be on the list.
He's top 10, maybe 20.
I'd really rather nobody do that to me, because it would be awkward, but I do really love
thing
Steam.
I'm gonna do next time I see you, just wait till you sit down. Just hey,
Just
buddy, full
hand down on
full
leg.
hand slapping it too. Like you gotta make sure you get a bit of like tingle.
You know, to be awkward though, is like you put your hand, what you think is like mid-ground on my leg, and then you're like,
It's just
and then
not.
you're like, oh, I feel cock.
It's like, well, this has been an awkward and interesting exchange. And I'd shake it like a handshake, think goodbye, sir, and then I'd leave.
You know that
As
moment,
long-
like where you're sitting next to somebody and like one of your fingers touches their fingers, except it's one of your fingers and my dick, and you're like, oh, this is awkward.
I feel like I've been in this scenario before where someone has just gone for a good hand slap and then they've just gotten me, and I'm like, oh, my nuts.
But the question is, like, if you do that, do you commit and grab it harder?
I feel like, yes,
I don't
you at
know,
least
I
shake
think
it like a
that's-
handshake. Like, there you go, sir. Sorry for wasting your time.
That's a decision you got to make after you've looked each other in the eyes, I think.
It's like, that's my dick. It's like, I know, just squeeze that a little bit tighter.
No, don't say anything. Just get your phone out and start playing Careless Whisper.
I imagine like that's the moment where like a lot of football jocks would be like, "You're gay."
No, you're gay.
It's like you're touching my dick.
No, your dick's touching my hand.
It reminds me of Harold and Kumar. And it's like, wait, so you like that guy that does the cock meat sandwich? Have you seen that movie, Grim?
Oh,
I have, but I don't remember that.
Ark,
It was a
have
while
you
ago.
seen it?
yes, I have.
Okay.
In fact, I watched it with my grandmother. That was an awkward experience. Because she used to have this thing where she just want to like rent out movies all the time. This is why I had such a decent movie knowledge like when I was younger. I just sit there and just go through all these movies. So I do have like a good random like esoteric things, but of course it'd be like, okay, get one movie for yourself. So obviously when I got to about that 12, 13 mark, I think it was when Harold and Kumar came out, and I think I heard something about it, so I was like, yeah, alright, I've got to get it. And because I've watched movies like Memoirs of a Geisha and stuff like that, my grandmother was like, oh, well, okay, he doesn't have an idiot's taste in movies.
That was a good movie. I love that movie.
Turns out you have an idiot taste in movies.
Yeah, she did say that pretty much after we watched it, especially after the Neil Patrick Harris stuff, because that was the first time she'd seen him in like years. Here comes this fucking super womanizing, fictionalized version of himself that she naturally assumed was real.
I feel like that's not your fault. She's
I
the
know.
one watching it, and she knows of him. Like,
And
Did you
it's
ever
like-
watch the musical that Neil Patrick Harris, the musical movie, where he's a scientist?
no, it
No.
sounds amazing. I will say though, I really couldn't deal with the Series of Unfortunate Events remake.
Nah.
Like, I watched the first season and it just dragged, man. It was so boring. And it was just, like, really cringe, too. Like, I
Yeah.
liked the Jim Carrey movie. A lot of people hated that movie that read the old books, and I'm like, this is a movie adaptation of a book directed at 6-year-olds, for starters, right? So it's going to change it a little bit to make it slightly more mature. And, like, a lot of those people prefer the version where it's, like, obviously Neil Patrick Harris in not very good makeup, dressed up as every other person in the movie. It's like, oh, tricked again. It's like, are you serious? It's
Well.
Lord Olaf. Oh no, he's dressed up as the police officer. Who could have guessed it was him? It only looked like him. It's like Team Rocket are more competent.
Jesus.
Whereas, like, in the actual movie with Jim Carrey, like, that dude was pretty evil. He, like, killed
Yeah.
people. He straight up murdered them. And it was a
And
shame
to
as
marry a
well.
little girl. That's right. 'Cause the whole thing he wanted to marry her for the money,
Yeah,
That's
that was
the
super
best part of
creepy
it.
too.
and then naturally just to be creepy. Lure, I'm gonna not lure. I'm going to lure at your loin.
Ah.
Then he also locked a baby in a cage and
But
hung her
that-
off the edge of the building.
But the worst part is after everything, it didn't seem like it was that bad when it came to like his grand scheme of things.
That's because, like, I feel like because it was Jim Carrey, and he's probably a better actor than NPH. Although I do love NPH.
I
But-
do, but yeah.
But Jim Carrey managed to make the whole marrying a child less creepy because he wasn't like, I'm gonna hook up with her. Like he made it 100% about the money.
Oh,
Yes,
good,
he did.
good. Okay.
Just like, I'm gonna marry this stupid fucking bitch and
Steal her
be a
money and then send her
millionaire,
off.
and then I'm gonna lock her in a fucking like in a dungeon forever, and she can just rot and die in there while I'm rich.
That's really how it went, wasn't it?
I think so. It was a good movie, man. Like, a lot of people give it crap, but it's like, oh, they basically took the whole plot of a couple of books and squashed it into a movie, and it's like, yeah, good. Get the
That's
story
what they-
moving. Whereas, like, the Netflix series, they're like, hey, let's take the plot of a handful of books and stretch it out across 3-4 seasons, and it's like, ugh. Just stop. I didn't mind the first season. It's just it kept dragging, and it just kept dragging, and it was just more. Oh, look, it's obviously Neil Patrick Harris dressed up as somebody else. Oh, he tricked them again because they're fucking morons. And also,
Right.
I think the kids that they got to play them in the movie probably did the roles a little bit better, I think.
Mm.
It's a shame that they had so much time between the TV series and the movie, because they could have reprised their roles in the series. That would have been pretty good.
Yes. Apart from the baby, I think the baby would have really outgrown that really quick.
Yeah, her and her one snaggletooth.
Yeah. Do you think that was a requirement for the role?
I would assume so.
Snaggletooth.
Gotta have
Well,
that snaggletooth.
Are you willing to punch out all of your other kids' teeth and leave them with a snaggletooth? Apply here.
What you gonna do, bite me with your snaggletooth? I think these ones are the best. Can I go to Stormcloak yet? Come on! Oh, look,
should
more
almost do that.
Alphanord. Like, I feel like, on the one hand, I should rein in my bitching about Alphanord, but at the same time, I know it's not just me now. I've seen the memes. People have made a meme where it's like literally just a little screen cap of a thing where it's like report to Alphanord, talk to Alphanord, go find Alphanord, and it's like, this is what ARR is. And I'm like, yes! That is exactly what ARR is! Constantly get the external approval of Alphanord, a person I didn't care about the approval of in the first place. I do like him as a character, though. He's just not as cool as his sister, I don't think.
No one's as cool as his
You
sister.
won't be saying that when he has a Bahamut up and you'll be like, oh, friend.
Isn't he a conjurer?
I feel like at some point he diverts and becomes a summoner.
Everybody diverts at some point, yeah. But like right now, he's just a conjurer. So, kind of boring.
I don't think Y'shtola ever...
He's not like a
changes.
white mage, he's just a conjurer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his...
His shtick at the moment.
Yes, Conji boy.
And then later
His-
on,
his
I
red
think
mage.
he does go proper summoner in the next DLC. I mean, not summoner, white mage in the next DLC, and then he goes summoner later. Isn't that the thing that happens? I feel like it is.
I feel like he just goes summoner from Stormblood onwards, to be honest.
Does Thancred ever go ninja?
No.
Because he has his two swords, his two fucking knives.
There's a bit of an explanation to why he ends up, I think he's technically a rogue still
Yeah.
in Heaven's Ward. And then, yeah, bloody Shadowbringers is when he turns into a tank.
He's like, I really like knives, but
I want this bigger one. Also,
It's a
I'm
really
angrier
big-
now, and I'm moodier, and I'm grittier, so I need a bigger sword.
When you think about it, swords are just big knives.
I think Urianger is an astrologist. Tataru is a crafter.
You know, in retrospect,
Also an alcoholic.
I think Yida stays a monk.
it really, well, monk is a secondary class, so that's not a bad thing. That's going from pugilist to monk is not a big. It's like a, it's
Good
the same as going to a paladin, really. From a gladiator. But it really speaks to this game's sort of like setup. Like, if the post game is bad, but I really liked all of the side quests along the way, and I did. Like, it's just the post game of this specific part of the game. I'm
You
sure
don't really
once
notice
it's
it
over,
as much
Yeah.
in the next
Yeah, I did.
expanse.
Yeah, well, I messed it up when I was playing the first time. I didn't even notice I had gone into the post game for Heaven's Water until I was like, oh shit, Dragon Song War.
Yeah,
so
and even that's a nice little bonus as well. Like, it doesn't drag on.
Like, it just seamlessly flows from one storyline into the next.
Without getting tea leaves.
I'm up to the Intercession of Saints, by the way, Grim.
Tequila.
Now I feel like watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah, you've got like 3 quests to go.
Already a summoner at this point.
Wait.
Because book out and everything.
Wait, who? What? What?
Alphanoid.
Noid.
Alphanoid. Because he's using carbuncles and stuff at the moment.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
he'd be a Arcanist. But
Okay, so maybe he's Arcanist now and then he just goes full summoner later.
well, that would make more sense.
Yeah, instead of just hopping class completely.
I wouldn't have minded if he did. I mean, it's not like Thancred
No, it's
didn't do exactly that.
Oh, they do give a little bit of a plot reason why he does have a dramatic change.
Is it because he goes
He likes
emo?
bigger knives.
I can't really say much until you start doing Heaven's Ward.
Alright. Fast forward to a few episodes in the future and it's like, yeah, he just likes bigger knives.
It's small PP syndrome.
In a way, yes, actually. But
When-
not exactly. I'm just gonna give him shit about it.
When do we meet the actual main character?
What, from the cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
I know we meet a dark version of them. I think post Heaven's Ward.
Okay, that's good. That's a lot closer than I was expecting.
And then I feel like there's gonna be some kind of twist to that that's introduced in Shadowbringers. Like, I feel like
I don't think I've officially seen the. I've only seen the. Are we talking about the thing that takes over?
talking about the Warriors of Darkness.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen it yet, apart from like in full form. I think it's only been taking over things.
They've been real
Oh no,
weird
you're
about the main
thinking
character.
about the Asians.
Oh, okay.
Cause like, okay, so you know about Opera Omnia, right? The mobile game.
Yes.
And you know about Final Fantasy Record Keeper, the other mobile game, right? So they have pretty much every character from every game, or they're going to at some point, right? But as far as I know, none of them have the main character from this game. And he's been the main character of this game the whole time. It's just you don't see him ever. And if in post
always
ARR you do...
He's ahead of you kind of thing. Doing his own thing.
Yeah, I do like that though. I just hope that you actually do get involved with him, and that, you know, all these other spin-off games do eventually include him, because he's essentially the Cloud, Squall, Zidane, Lightning, Noctis of this game.
Ah. Now I'm intrigued.
It's just, yeah, we haven't seen him anywhere except the cutscenes. Whereas, like, all Thancred and Alphanord and all of them, they're all, like, supporting roles. They're all, like, your companions. Like, they're supposed to essentially be the main character's team. They're the Barrett, Tifa, Zell. Zell. Oh, I like that. Oh, damn, man. Snow eventually becomes good. I really didn't like him in the first 13 game, but I really liked him in the second and the third.
See, I was the other way around. I liked him the most in the first, and I couldn't stand him by the third.
I didn't like him originally because he was a Goku, and there's a new chapter to read.
Yeah, I'm already up to date. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? Damn, I haven't read it yet. I'll assume it's good. Yeah, no, there's something about that character dynamic of just like the derpy person with like overly optimistic ideals, and it's just like, dude, people are gonna die along the way. There's not really anything you can do. No, I'm just gonna save everybody. It just seems like naive to me, and that seems like there's something about that bothers me character-wise, and he 100% was that. But then by the end of 3, he was like an anti-hero. I feel like in the middle, he definitely is a depressing edgelord, but in the middle, like in 2, I think that was the high point of his character. That was where, like, the character in 13 is starting to realize some shit, and it's, like, a little bit more realistic. So he's still got, like, a little bit of that optimism, but he's not a doofus about it.
And he hadn't changed his clothes yet. He just started to just go, oh, life does sort of suck a bit, hey.
Yeah, he just ditched the beanie, and you're like, oh, he's just some mad dude with surfy hair. I can deal with this. And then, yeah, by Lightning Returns, it's... Oh man, edgelord isn't even enough to describe it. He is Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yes, that's that.
He
What
is,
if I
though.
look at the vault?
What is the vault? Oh, I wonder if there's an
content.
overseer in there.
Please do not tie Bethesda to this game. Ever.
Well, I feel like that was done before we started recording, via talking about these character models being imported into...
But that's talking about doing something.
Oh man, that's a real nice sword. Who's this Merrick dude? Does he continue on in the story as a character that pops up?
Yeah, he's a main character. Like, what's the main support character?
Is he a dick?
No.
Okay, good, because he looks awesome. I love his gear.
You can, at one point, you were able to buy his armor on the Mog Station.
And you can't anymore?
And I might still be there, like, somewhere in, like, if you look down and through everything.
Damn.
Because I was like, especially if you ran a Dragoon, like, that'd be just the Dragoon army. You'd be like, no, bitch, I run Ishkard.
I guess this cutscene is supposed to be the precursor for Snowcloak. Stormcloak. Aren't the Stormcloaks from Skyrim?
Yes. The really racist ones.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh god. How are they racist? What do they do?
Because they're all pro Nord and anti-elf, and everyone else, I mean anti-beast races, and everyone else they sort of just tolerate in between.
That's not cool.
The big thing. Like, I always used to go Stormblood because I was always like, fuck the Empire! But at least the Empire technically allows everyone and gives them all the same rights and shit. You just gotta deal with the yoke of the Thalmor that you gotta deal with. Whereas the bloody Ulfric side, it's like, all hail the Nords, yeah, fuck off, you dirty beast race, yeah.
I feel when you take them over, though, you have, like, some say about that. You're, like, allowed to just be like, no, fuck off with that shit.
That's why when you run straight into Windhelm for the first time, like, there's a whole bunch of Nords picking on Dark Elf. So they're like, get out of here, you don't belong here, this is our town.
That's not cool.
And then you can go up to one of them and go into a fist fight and punch him out for being a racist.
I would do that.
Pretty sure that's what I did. That rings a bell.
Because it's like as soon as you walk into Windhelm for the very first time, it triggers.
I think it's because they had to go at me too because I was of a different race.
Yeah, they will comment especially if you're an elf. They're like, "Oh, you dirty elf," because I usually make Khajiits. So they're my go-to race for Skyrim because I just love them. So yeah, they're like, oh, look at you, you filthy cat. And I'm just like, I will specifically put down this sword and claw your eyes out. Then when I play, because I play on PC, I play with the Inigo NPC mod, which is really well done. And then he also hates racism. So then after my character's had a go at him, then you have this other blue and black cat behind me having a go at him too. And then it's just like, no, fuck you.
It's really ironic to look at it from the outside looking in like that as well, to be like, hey, wait, that is as stupid as racism is in real life.
Oh mate, I was mind blown. Like I honestly was just like, no, these people are just getting way involved into the like politics, and then I think it was just one sort of stumbled thread upon another, and then I'm like, holy crap. So now I always play Empire when I get to the Civil War, because it's like, oh well, you're the lesser of two evils, I guess.
You know, I kind of wonder about the future now that you've brought up like Khajiits and beast tribes and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, how often do you watch Netflix?
I'm just the guy that pays for it, but barely uses it.
Oh,
I
snap.
watch it a fair bit.
Okay, have you seen the thing pop up for Beast Stars?
No.
Okay. It's a show that at first glance you would look at and be like, oh god, furry garbage. Apparently it's a really good show. Like, people I know that are pretty staunchly not furry are like, no, that show rules. And I'm like, oh man, that means I'm gonna have to go watch it.
Now I have to be curious about it. God damn.
But you look at it and you're like, that's a show about furries. Like, you look at it, and like now there's all like memes and stuff all over the internet where it's like, I think in Spanish or something it's called Furry Stars, and it's like it's like one's English, the other one's like another, I think French or something, and then like they're both calling it Beast Stars, and then the Mexicans in the middle are all like Furry Stars, and they're like, don't you dare call it that! It's like, okay, so it's already developed a fandom and stuff. But anyway, my point is, like, between, like, Animal Crossing, between stuff like that, between, like, all these new shows and all these games popping up, it's like, I can see I can kind of see, like, society, like, veering towards all that furry shit.
Especially now everyone's been locked inside their houses for a while with coronavirus. Like, you're going to find people that are going to be walking out of their houses with some really new and eclectic tastes. I know I, for one, have.
A faux fur sock hanging off their dick and all.
Behold my furry splendor!
Oh my god, dude.
Oh, that'd be weird. Like,
well, it's definitely happened to at least some person, probably.
each to their own, and everyone, good on you. Like, whatever. But still.
See, I have 3 rules, you know, when it comes to when it's sex, and it's just like, you know, don't fuck animals, don't fuck kids, and make sure they say yes. But the whole furry thing really gets on that line, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think also that there's probably some internal conflict in those groups anyway, because you'd have furries arguing with like bronies, and then you'd have bronies that just like watching a shitty show arguing with bronies who want to fuck child horses. And then you would have furries who just like being Khajiit in Skyrim arguing with people who actually want to fuck a cougar in real life. Yeah, I feel like fuck a cougar in real life. That's one way to get your fucking face shredded.
That's one way to go, isn't it? Oh no, man, I'm a cougar chaser. Oh yeah, man, how old? No. I'm a cougar chaser.
What happened to Dom? Oh man, he's dead, didn't you hear? No, what the fuck happened to him? Homeboy fucked a cougar. It was not consensual.
Oh.
The cougar got its own back.
Cougar just walked in and went, nah, you're mine.
No, he fucking raped a cougar, and then the cougar ate him for it.
Oh, fuck.
Either way, probably shouldn't laugh about cougar rape, because it's still rape.
Yeah, especially because that follow-up joke I was thinking was just going to go, well, I was going, wait a minute, should I really say it?
If you have to ask,
yeah,
probably no.
But we're Australian, we joke about everything, it's just...
Nothing sacred, ever!
It's true though, but it's like sometimes you're like, oh, that was a bit dark. You have to pull yourself up
I
on
can
it
technically
sometimes.
see how that's an issue.
Like you can still agree that it's fucked up and still joke about it. It's just you,
And that's
as
happened
long
at
as you
work a
agreed
few
that it's
times
fucked up.
as well.
Oh,
Get put into the office now, Josh. We got told that you are telling people about the pterodactyl sex position, and it's like, okay. In my defense, they literally asked me to tell them what a pterodactyl was.
oh my god. You just reminded me of something really fucked up I did years ago.
Is it similar to a
Was
Charizard?
it the pterodactyl?
Okay, do you guys remember E-Bomb's World?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know how it was like kind of like college humor, except there was all sorts of fucked up videos on there. Like it could be, it was almost like YouTube if YouTube also allowed adult content at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, so you probably heard me mention Oompa before, like a friend
Yes.
of mine. I'm probably eventually gonna record some eps with him here or there. I don't know when, but
Someday.
anyway, like it was probably like the third time I ever met him years and years ago. He went on this stoned rant about how much he loves dinosaurs.
Oh no.
So he went home, and I was like, before he gets home, because he's driving home, before he gets home, I'm gonna send him this one video that a girl showed me of all people. A girl showed me this, and it's this girl who's getting gang fucked by a bunch of people dressed up as pterodactyls. Like they've got like full masks and shit.
Oh
And they're
my
doing
God,
all the squawk noises, and it's so fucked.
That's a reverse pterodactyl. Oh my god.
It's so fucked, man. They're all like ah ah.
Yes.
And
That's
like
the point of the pterodactyl.
it's like a
sex
straight up
position.
porno, but they're like 100% in character. And like when someone's not involved in banging this girl, they're like making faces at the camera, going like ah. ah! So I sent him this thing, and he didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. He's like, "What the fuck, dude? That's not okay. Why'd you send that to me?" And I have no regrets, man. Like, I laughed sending it. I laughed after I sent it, and I laughed when he pulled me up on it.
I'm still laughing now.
I am. Oh man. Yeah. I don't know if E-Bomb's World exists, but yeah. There's probably some pterodactyl porn on there. If that's what you're into.
The pterodactyl sex position is obviously like 5 guys, 1 girl. But the point is, you got to get it to make the like noise, because the whole point, 2 wings. So you've just described to me the literal inverse of what I just knew. My mind is blown.
Oh man.
You should find it and send it to Ark.
I don't want that shit in my...
Put it in the Discord. Let the whole FC understand.
No.
And then they were like, "What the hell?" Then you'd be like, "Hey, you gotta watch the episode to find out."
Oh man, I'd get judged hard for that shit.
I'll do it. Just send it to me. I'll
No.
chuck it on.
I kind of don't want that shit in my like my targeted ads. He's into pterodactyl porn, eh? Maybe you would like this dinosaur fleshlight.
Porn.
Wish
Oh.
would fuck my shit up after that.
Well, to be honest, like it's obviously a thing. Like bad dragons. Come on.
Well, if we say it
What-
loud enough
what's-
to our phones, maybe Wish will have something for us.
Should I ask what bad dragons is? I feel like I should not. What does it mean? Is
Wait, you don't know
is-
what a bad dragon is?
No. What's a bad dragon?
Mythical.
Oh, I think you're looking
Okay.
for.
Alright. Mythical. Oh, I mean, there have been some real animals, but they're generally like large, mythical animal genitalia.
Oh god. I thought you were gonna like describe what a scaly is, which is just like a furry that likes reptile
Fish,
characters.
reptiles and stuff.
Nope.
They
Nope,
just like
it's literally-
draw sexy crocodiles or whatever.
Sexy
But
fucking
like,
crocodile.
but like, real life pictures of like crocodiles, dicks and shit. Oh man.
No.
No, mythical, so like dragons, unicorns.
And generally in the form of dildos.
Yes.
And they call that a bad dragon.
And it's called a bad dragon because I'm pretty sure the first one that like sort of kick-started this little thing was a dragon one. And it was
But-
called the bad dragon. So now they just
But why
call
is a
generally-
unicorn a bad dragon? Like that's
I get it. I get what you're thinking. I get
It's
that.
like a
but they're
brony
all
thing, isn't it?
all categorized as bad dragons.
Oh man, that's fucked.
Definitely been a few OnlyFans in my time. I've been like, oh yeah, Jesus, bad dragon.
Well, this place is pretty.
They're
I am-
generally like
I
massive.
am not prepared. Yeah, and it's like, fuck. I mean, this is gonna be a rather dirty episode, isn't it? So
It's
screw
too
it.
late now. we're well in the rabbit hole.
Generally enough that you wouldn't be sitting right for about a month.
Yeah, but they're like, hey, just watch me casually sit on this. I'm gonna try and get another 4 inches today. Whee! And you're like,
I feel like that's
am not-
hospital. You know, a woman tried to have sex with a horse, and she died. So that's probably not even hospital. That's probably just the morgue.
But no, they do them anyway, and it's just like, oh, they just try and they'll get them up there, see how hard they can try.
See, the whole like the fetishism of all of this shit, right?
And it's obviously just a dildo. It's not like, here, I've made myself like this scale dragon, and then I've bought a bad dragon to go with it. It's just like, here, I got a dragon dick. I'm gonna ride it.
What the fuck?
Which is very fitting for Heaven's Ward because, you know, churches and dragons.
Man, what the fuck is wrong with the world? At the same time, though, like, I kind of view it as, like, if you're not hurting anybody, and yes, that includes fucking animals, like, if you're not hurting anybody, you can fetishize whatever the fuck you want. Like, I feel like there's a difference, and I'm being pretty understanding when I say this, I think. I feel like there is a difference between, like, somebody dressing up as a fucking dog and then butt-fucking their friend or whatever who's also dressed as a dog. Like, there's a difference between that and, like, zoophilia and bestiality, and it's the ones that try and blur that line that are the biggest fucking problem. Because,
Yeah,
like,
the-
if
the
I can
worry
look the
ones.
other way on a person that's, like, ball-gagged, draped and fucking bound in leather, just, like, fully equipped in all sorts of tools for spanking and fucking ass and all sorts of fuck shit like that with a collar that says daddy. Like, you know, like, if I can look the other way on that and be like, that's just what they're into, like, you know, kind of got to extend that a little bit, but, like, as long as that's not the, as, you know, like, they're not going to the supermarket dressed like that.
But at the end of the day, I have to boil it down to 3 rules. Don't fuck animals, don't fuck kids, and make sure they say yes. Like,
Yeah,
feel like
that's
long as you-
pretty much
as
it.
long as you can tick off those 3, I feel like you're fine. Just, you know, don't be a fuckwit.
Yeah, or even just, like, don't hurt anyone. Like, and that includes consent, and animals can't give it, and neither can fucking
Well,
children.
that's why
or
rule 2
early
has to be
teenagers.
there, because I thought about this, and I was
Yeah.
like, you're right. And then I was like, oh yeah, but what about BDSM and Ralph? I'm like, well, make sure they say yes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why
it's
the
the whole
three- it used to-
consent thing.
It used to just be, you know, yeah, just like whatever. But I went, no, I need to have 3 rules because people are dumb and they will want to try and find loopholes. I feel like if you boil it down to just those 3, you can't really get around that.
It's definitely like a, because it used to always just be like, you know, people are into different shit, and like, as long as they're not hurting anybody, it's not an issue. But it's like, the same sort of people that are like, oh my god, gay people are going to hell, they're the devil, oh god. They're the same people that have no problem scrolling through Pornhub and being like, oh, I'll just ignore that thing where that chick's shitting on that dude, or oh, I'll just scroll past that she-male or whatever that's like banging that dude in the ass. Like, they can look the other way then when they've got their dick in their hand, but like,
Yeah, it's
then when
convenient.
they've got their Bible in their fucking hand, they're fucking perfectly happy to swing that shit around, and it's like, why can't you just look the other way for
that as well.
that sort of shit? Like, and I like your 3 rules. I'm going to adapt that shit. Don't fuck animals, don't fuck kids, make sure they say yes. It's not difficult.
It's not that hard.
You have to either say yes or there's safe word that
Yeah,
they have
like-
made with you.
In advance, like, okay, that's going down a different fucking rabbit hole, but yeah, like
But that comes under rule 3.
that comes under rule 3, like pretty basic, like, so yeah, as long as it's yes / safe word, you know. Like, why is this? Why do I even have to be so specific about this? Like, why have we gotten to a point where it's like, here, we have these rules, these very hard rules in place, because there are people that will try and blur or go, nah, fuck it.
Those
Why?
who need to get that COVID.
Yes, just a bit of fucking COVID and some poop under the fucking nose. Just, that'll do.
I don't generally get very political in recording, but I've got to say, injecting disinfectant.
Wow, I actually thought that was 100% like onion satire.
You know,
really
he's already fucking rolled it back as well. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I was being
no,
sarcastic." It's
Yeah,
like,
I'm just
no,
like,
you
"Oh,
fucking weren't. I watched that shit. You fucking weren't. You're just a dumbass. And
It's
then
not just
people
that,
called
like,
you out
okay.
for it.
Even if he was being sarcastic,
Some people don't know that.
He's not the person to be sarcastic on national or global TV, right? Like, that's like the most stupid thing you can do.
And then there's people, amidst this global pandemic, that are going to take him seriously and then inject bleach into their fucking veins and die like you obviously would for doing so. He literally just told his supporters to drink bleach through their fucking veins, essentially. And it's just like, wow. Just
Walking
wow.
team over in the US on their Twitter, they literally put this up. They went, inject ice into your veins, not bleach.
Well, how about neither?
I know, but I'm sitting there going, wow. We are at a point where sporting teams need to go, now guys, don't put bleach in your veins. We'd rather you put meth in there instead.
Oh my god, it always comes back to meth.
Fuck.
All those meth head episodes, all those clone fucking episodes, and now we've got the furry apologist episode. God
no,
damn
like
it.
The furry apologist arcs rules to banging fucking
Anyone
anthology.
notice they're in Final Fantasy XIV episodes, though?
We have a lot of shit we have to get through. Like, this is probably the time, this is the series to go through all of our philosophical ideals and just, you know what? Ta-da! People will probably hate us and go, what the fuck, Ark? I will never go near you in real life. But
No, fuck those people.
it's an entertaining series, nonetheless.
No, they can quit their bitching, essentially. Like, well, fucking we're just talking about shit. I don't feel like we have been unreasonable about anything.
I mean, I don't think I have been either, but apparently I'm wrong about this kind of shit quite often.
Being an asshole about something doesn't make you wrong, and I don't think you've been an asshole either. I feel like in real life, when you probably say things to people, you're probably a bit more forthright with it. Like, for example, at work, when you're like, nah, fuck them.
I have a 3 strikes rule. I'll be nice about it twice, and then the third time I am a sledgehammer of truth.
I don't think I have the nice. I think the nice comes after the sledgehammer.
That's because if I don't, and then I get pulled into the office, and they're like, okay, Ark, you need to explain yourself, and then it's just like, well...
Oh,
see,
that's what it is.
See, and now because I do wait, and I do have to go off, when we get to this point, it's like, so Ark, you went off, and I'm like, yes, but I did give them multiple chances, and this is exactly what I said, and they're like, oh, okay then, fair enough. I was just like, oh wait, what?
I know why you've got that rule too.
This statement.
And meanwhile, I'm not, like, let me specify, like, in my field of work, I'm not a manager or anything. I'm just a staff member that's been there a while. So I just have that angry old man of, yeah, just do what he says.
That's why I get away with it, because I am the boss. So people probably are just like, oh man, I can't say shit. I'll get fired.
Like, fuck you, you fucking cunt.
Leave the fucking furries alone. They're not fucking... Oh, except for those ones. Those ones are being fucked.
They're having sex like rabbits.
Having sex with rabbits, and that's unconsensual. Oh, Snowcloak.
One of them dresses a rabbit, and the other dresses a dog, and I don't like it.
Oh, I don't care about that shit, man. Dude, the things I've seen. Like,
but that's what happens. Like, if we got to a point where, let's say, this furry movement does just keep going, especially with the COVID, and people do get a bit more accepting of furries, then you'll have the ones who be like, no, only dog furries should be fucking dog furries.
Oh my god.
And then we're gonna get the racism between furries.
Yeah,
oh
yeah, and then you'll have, oh, look at that black dog. He's having sex with that white dog.
That's
Oh.
Oh, actually, you want to call out an episode there, and we'll do Snowcloak for the next episode.
Yeah, so that's
What?
perfect.
What?
We're probably going to continue talking about this stuff for the next episode at least. Sorry, guys, we've gone down a rabbit hole.
So, forewarning, yeah, just expect the next episode to be utterly depraved. I feel like we need to just put a depravity banner just on the start of it instead of like an explicit label, just depravity or depraved.
Do you think we could do Snowcloak in 15 minutes, or should we just leave it for the next
No, we
episode?
Are you up to Stormcloak now?
Yeah, I can queue for it.
It'll
right
take
now.
about 20, 25. Oh, I'd say about 20-ish.
Yeah, it's probably better to call it then.
Well, we can probably get Snowcloak and the Primal done in the next step.
What, Chrysalis, you reckon?
No, the next one's good old Shiva.
Oh, Shiva.
That's 5 quests behind.
Depends on how much fluff they put in between with all the quests and
5
the talking.
quests. 5 quests.
Yeah, but it depends on all the cutscenes and stuff. It might be half an hour cutscenes in between each.
I am
mean, no,
I am
5
getting
second
through them
cutscenes.
faster. I'm giving them less time to talk. I'm not letting them sit there and talk through all of the writing. I'm just letting the writing pop up for a reasonable enough time for somebody to be able to pause it and read it if they care about it. Plus, I feel like a lot of the time we're just going to say what's happening in the story, so
Yes.
And this is the gist. Skip.
we probably should start doing that more often, to be honest.
That's why I
to,
try
like,
and
cover-
recap usually what we did last episode. I'm like, in last episode, blah blah blah,
True.
blah 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 blah.
So if
Last
you want to recap on
episode,
what's happening, if you want to recap what's happening,
And if
watch
you
our
want to
next
recap
episode.
on blah blah blah, like, comment, and subscribe.
in last
If you're-
episode we covered racist furries.
And pterodactyls.
Fuck, I can't believe that's in an episode that's out in the universe now. Sorry, Yumpy, but it was hilarious. I'd do it again. Oh my god, what if I do it again? No, I don't want to go looking.
Especially if you could find out the exact day that you did it and then just send it as like, yeah, happy 10th anniversary or friend anniversary.
Oh man, I lost that Facebook account years ago. That was one that got hacked. Have you ever had one of those things where it's like one of your friends is like, oh, click on this image of us? And then you do, and somebody's hacked your account, and then they start posting that same link to everybody. I know like
You know-
4 other people that's happened to, and I'm one of them. But yeah,
You know how
they
you
sent
can solve
porn
it?
to my mom, man. Hey mom, check out this lesbian action. My mom would have been like, oh, come on, Glenn. I don't want to see this shit. It's not me. Sure, it's not.
It's honestly not me this time, Mum, I swear.
This time.
Hey, it's like the time my mum was like, you won't show me midget porn, and then I did.
Oh dear.
But we'll save that topic till next episode. So, next episode will be us doing Snowcloak, and hopefully we can try and get over the line to Shiva, because once we get to Shiva, it won't take long, it's just all the fluff in between. So, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you need a free company on Kujata, come join us. DudeGoBack, one word. As you can tell as we're recording, we don't really type this kind of content into the free company chat, so you'll be fine. Till our next episode of Final Fantasy XIV and pterodactyls and fairies and other interesting topics, I'm Mark, with me Shade and Grim. You're on DudeGoBack. Oh, hail the fairy god!
Chef kiss.